All right, with that, it's now time for me to invite our next speaker onto the stage, and that is Mr. Rinkesh Shah, Head of Digital Marketing at Mankind Pharma. Can I please request Mr. Rinkesh Shah to please join us on stage? He'll be joining us for a special address and share his thoughts with us today in his session. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Shah is the founder of the first student crowdfunding platform in India and is also a health tech startup advisor. He's a passionate professional by work and entrepreneur by heart. Thank you, Mr. Shah, for joining us. You can please take it forward from here.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for that introduction. And good morning, everyone. I think it takes a lot of doing to come on a Saturday morning and here to guys like me. So thanks, well appreciated. Well, today the topic, the topic which was given to me was a longish topic. But I think I remember the title called as Data Ninja. Don't worry, the amount of smiles which I have seen because of that topic, this is the same smile which I also have. And it got me thinking, what should I speak about? What's a ninja, first of all? How the data and the ninja, how all this will marry up. So I'll take an honest attempt in trying to do rightfulness to the topic which has been given. Just to give a bit of about my background, I'm currently heading digital at Mankind Pharma. My career has been, I think I'm proud about the fact that it's been the career which has been grown by working in digital and not in business and then transitioning into digital. And that's where possibly I have a certain biases of my own, certain views of my own, which will be there and which I would, and my biases I will highlight in the slides also, which I'll present. I've had my own startup back in 2011, sold off it to a good amount of money, did well there. It was in a student crowdfunding space. Crowdfunding as a concept didn't take up enough in India, it still hasn't, but yeah, it was an interesting journey back then. So coming back to the topic of Data Ninja, or possibly how data plays a role in the overall scheme of things when it comes to marketing, right? So that's me. So that's the market which we are serving. Sorry for bad slides if they are there. Before I jump onto data, I think this is something which all of us should know. And this becomes more pertinent when I hear the sessions earlier, the speakers earlier. You know, I see that there are questions about which speakers dodged very well. The panel dodged very well when they were asked that what percentage allocation will be there for digital. I think most of you guys dodged it. I think for me the answer is very simple. Don't ask such questions. Okay, it's a question which comes out of this bias that we have to work in silos. It's a question which comes out of this mindset that can I get out of the home without a mobile phone? Can I today? You can't, right? If you yourself are accustomed to living in this digital world, why don't you want to work in a way what the digital world demands, right? So I think we shouldn't ask these questions. The world is digital, so now try and think of it from that perspective. Just to give you an example, maybe 100 years back when this whole media industry would have grown up, right? The print media, the newspapers and all of that. What was the thinking then? Let me find great news, publish it, circulate it, right? Mass dissemination, right? Cut to what we are today. Most of the media houses don't work like that. You guys have heard about maybe Vion? You have all heard? Most of you, yeah? Does Vion cater to the mass market of India? It's an English news channel. No, it doesn't. It caters to a very niche crowd in India and to a large set of crowd in the global markets, right? It's a media house. They don't say that I want to disseminate to everyone. They have very clearly marked out, they've defined their TG, and they have said that, okay, this is the set which I am going to focus on, and let me find success over there. So there's a lot of data churning which will happen to find that audience, define that audience, and figure out who is where. So when it comes to marketing in the digital world, you can't disseminate. I think there was someone, the speaker earlier said that we are very good at dissemination. Once we have the data, हम सब जगह पहुंचा देंगे, WhatsApp कर देंगे, clinic पे पहुंचा देंगे, print कर देंगे, ये वो. I would say that in the world of digital, the data and dissemination need not be done immediately. Let the system churn whom to send, what to send, when to send, where to send. If you get into that mindset and if you take the steps towards it, I think you'll start to figure out how to operate in this digital world. Yeah, and don't keep separate budgets for digital. Don't, please don't. Either do it or don't do it. If you start having this mindset, you will go nowhere. Is my view on this. So if you haven't, if I go further, and probably I'll be going off my slides because I am very passionate about this question which was asked and about the subject. I've been working all this while in this field. So, if the question is asked about कि मैं कितना digital में spend करूँ, I think the question should be thrown back saying that तेरा objective क्या है? Okay, अच्छा तेरा objective है कि मैं 1000 customers को engage करूँ, 80-20 principle, 10,000 का MSL होगा, उसका 20% पकड़ लो, मैं उसको deeply engage कर लूँ, क्या मेरा फील्ड कर पाएगा? अच्छा नहीं कर पाएगा तो मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ to simplify their operations, maybe with the use of tech, so that they can do. Okay, if it's becoming too investment heavy, is there a different way of doing this same thing? Just to give you an example, and give you an example in acute, because a lot of people feel that chronic में तो digital चल जाता है, acute में नहीं चल जाता है. So I did the objective for one of the or two of the acute brands which had come to me recently was that okay, my 20% of MSL is contributing. How do I increase it further? Okay, how do I make it for each rep? How do I make it 21%? And then cumulatively it becomes a larger impact. We did a very simple thing. We asked doctors through advertising digitally, through every channel, saying that do you need samples for this particular product? Believe you me, the products were like PPIs. सदियों से चल रहे हैं PPIs के लिए. In 2 months I got 500 leads where doctors are filling up their form, and these are all my list doctors, not the entire universe of 5 lakh, maybe a lakh of universe which I am covering. I am getting 500 leads in just 2 months of exercise, and this is just a pilot. And this is an acute brand, a PPI. So it's, if you start aligning yourself to objectives and then start using various other means, you will see a much larger impact there. Can you play this? I don't know if they have the music also or not, but at least you can have a look of what do I mean.
There are 9.9 million new cases of Alzheimer each year. When Alzheimer hits you, nobody can help you remember your life. Nobody but you. Chat Yourself helps you remember by chatting to yourself. We created a chatbot which collects the entire life of Alzheimer's sufferers and gives back vital information 24 hours a day. And we've based it on Facebook, the life diary that everyone has in their pocket. Using push notifications, it helps even without any requests. Together with specialized psychologists, we trained it to answer every need, in real time and everywhere. giving sufferers the possibility to conquer fear of leaving the house. Ask without being ashamed. Take back the control of their daily routine. Chat Yourself restores independence to all sufferers and their families, especially during the initial stage of the disease. It can't stop Alzheimer, but it's a new way to live with it.
Massimizza la qualità della vita. Per il momento sembrerebbe il massimo che c'è in questa patologia.
So, this is something which was done 6-7 years back by one of the company, but this is essentially what I mean by marketing in a digital world. The world has become digital, and how do we integrate ourselves within it is the question, rather than digital marketing. If you look at India ecosystem, the policies are now favoring digital. Government has come up with various schemes like NDHM. The internet penetration is high and all of that. This is our NDHM stack which is coming in. All this just is a proof that is going nowhere, is going to stay. We have to figure out how to partner, integrate ourselves, and find out ways and means of working along with it. What is the market movements? We are now becoming more and more specialty focused, right? At least we are trying to figure out what are our islands of excellence to get our new business to reach our new business objectives. We are looking at team and account selling type of approach, dialogues with our customer, and sales and marketing coordination largely. This is an interesting one. Possibly we are somewhere on the left end of the screen, right? We have 1 or 2 channels with which we are interacting with our customers today. Maybe in COVID, in the garb of going digital, we have done webinars and send out emails, and we have said that is digital. Okay, that's a good start. And we have essentially become multi-channel. Still, the channels are not talking to each other. Okay, we have still not kept customer at the center. It's the mindset of data and large scale dissemination. Let's bombard, कुछ हो जाएगा, और कुछ होता भी है, but maybe that will not sustain in the future. Okay, and obviously the doctors are now, all millennials doctors are coming up, so they are technically digital first in their ways of working. What we need to do is essentially go from single or dual channel to multi-channel to become a omni-channel company, or the ways of working needs to be omni-channel. I mean, just to give you an example, an email can't be sent just like that. Once the rep has come out of the clinic of the doctor, can you send an email where the email mentions about what the rep has discussed and gives him access to go further deep dive into what was discussed? Can you get into that type of journeys? Yeah, can you, if you have done webinars, which is okay, you have done digital, something digital has happened, but because a doctor has attended a webinar, next time when the rep goes and meet, can you give him or empower him with something which will further help to discuss something a bit more about what was discussed on the webinar, because the doctor has attended it, he has spent some time on it, and you have to start building your systems so that such data sets are available, which can be then again thrown back to the field guys, and then obviously the content has to be need to be catered accordingly. So you'll have to look at the full journeys, define the content, and then begin everything. Easier said than done, I understand, but such meetings and such forums are to discuss about the future, so I'll take that liberty of discussing hypothetical stuff, which is frankly speaking not that hypothetical. That's also possible in the systems which are available today. I think the problem is to do it at scale. How will the marketing evolve because of the approach or of the way we are kind of trying to move forward? Is we are again on the left hand side, we are trying to use technology. That technology will then become intelligent with time, and then it might lead to the whole coordinated engagement situation. right? Currently, the approaches are messy. Systems don't talk with each other a lot. That's what the current situation is. The ideal situation is, again, we have to create a platform of platforms, a single platform where a rep, a CME, online events, digital health solution, all of them are talking to each other, and then those silos of customers are being made within that systems. You have predefined, okay, you have, if you have a customer who has engaged on XYZ type of content gets defined into a certain category, you have to create those silos, and then you'll have to build a system, and the engagement will become a coordinated engagement. Believe me, it needs a bit of thinking, okay, but it's not that difficult. We all have a lot of decades of experience, so it's not very difficult to define that, okay, who engages on what will get into what subset of categories. Is not a difficult aspect to define. But if we start thinking that way and put our intent and energies toward it, it's possible. How do we, so when I talk about intelligence, what it is, so maybe the 5 aspects: predict who your next opportunity set customers are, suggest the next best action for the field guys for that customer, identify the high prospect clients among it, adapt to it, and improve intelligence to go forward. This further deep dive of it, and possibly we can spend a bit more time on it. So for sales, what's your next best customer is the recommendation engine which will pull out. Okay. For marketing, for key account management, what will be the next best message? For marketing, it will be what is the next best time, and then what is the next best content, maybe for medical, right? So again, just the thought process of how you can divide and rule within various functions and build systems around it. This will all lead to coordinated engagements, right? You have IDA or RACE as a model of marketing, right? Whatever way you want to call it, but moving from, and you have to take the doctor or a customer along that journey, right? Channel 1 can be, let's say, a webinar to say that, okay, channel 2 is my rep, then channel 3 is my email, channel 4 is my WhatsApp, and it's all into that same coordinated engagement of what the key content objective was or the marketing objective was. And just to, if there is a new insulin pen which is launched, okay, by an organization, you will first try to try to do an event, bombard it out, as many as doctors want to attend can attend. The doctors who have attended, you will ensure that rep goes and discusses inside the clinic a bit more about it. Okay, rep has discussed, you don't know some doctors have converted, some have not converted. Again, send an email, ask him to read more. Ask him to say that, are you interested or not? Take his details, let the rep go again. Create those orchestrated journeys. And believe me, those are not difficult to make. Today, you all have launched iPads and CRM systems and all of that. So, it's not that difficult to do. Yeah. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that, okay, if there is a single touch point now, you go into a facet of multiple touch points and in an orchestrated way. And host of benefits which will then follow for the overall evolution of marketing in general. I think from a slides perspective, that's it from my side. What I would like to leave as a message, or maybe just summarize what I'm trying to say, is that consider it as marketing in digital world. There's nothing called as digital marketing. Don't try and think in silos. Moment you say that X percentage allocation to digital, I think it will be a very small facet of things which you are trying to move, and you will never see impact at scale. And because you will not see impact at scale, you will never be able to trust the whole process of how technology can help you leverage in a big way, and move away from dissemination as a mindset. Move from there, move on to a coordinated engagement as a mindset, and possibly data will play a big role over there. You will have to figure out the silos, the cohorts of the doctors which you will want to engage in a certain way versus the other. And if you have this mindset of moving from dissemination to coordinated engagement, I think that will then possibly everything will follow through from there. That's it from my side. Thank you. Any questions if you have?
Excellent talk. Digital is slightly sleeping into pharma industry now. One of the very common questions which every brand manager or BU head generally ask about digital is that if I do something, what is the ROI? Every brand manager how they are comparing investment versus immediate if I do something, what is the ROI? So on that, how they are comparing leader, how do you handle such return on queries or conviction? So on that, as a tech leader, how do you handle only the materialistic ROI on digital to other people who are seeing only the
Abhishek could have asked me that question
ROI
over a tea also when we were chatting, but he chose to ask this question over here. Over a tea also when we were chatting. Put me in a spot. Ask this question over here. Okay, let me quote an example for this, and I think that's the best way to answer this. This whole ROI. First of all, this question comes in minds of everyone because we are thinking in silos, nothing else. First of all, this question comes in minds of everyone. Let me give you an example of what nothing else digital only model can do. Let me give you an example of possibly that will help you to better get the aspect of this. And I can quote this example because it's been years now that will help since I've done this. Get the aspect of this. And I can quote for a consumer brand Mother Horlicks since I've done this. The idea for GSK over there was Mother Horlicks. They were reaching out to some 10,000 gynecs. The idea for GSK over there was the consumer business. They were reaching out to some for Mother Horlicks 10,000 gynecs. At that point in time, and idea was that what to do next, how to Mother Horlicks make this brand go at scale. And India market was and idea was that what to do next, odd gynecologists make this. So there was quite a sum of market they were not covering. 35,000. They reached out to us, and I was in an agency. Quite a sum of market they were not covering. Not in pharma. They reached out to us. And so they reached out to us saying that और field force add कर दो हमें और gynecs को reach out करना है. And we said यार we are not in the field force addition business, we will not do that. But we'll take up the challenge. And we said यार we are not in the field force. We'll give you 100% growth on your brand in 2 years time. But we'll take up the challenge without adding field force. We'll give you 100% growth on your brand. And we did that by the end of it. The process was very simple. We figured out and we did that to get the list of gynecologists in India. The process was very simple. We figured out got the list from them. Back in those days, this is India, which was 2011 or so. We got the list from them. Back in those days, this is 2000. Back in those days, अभी भी वो couriers चल रहे थे. राइट तो मेरे पास फोन नंबर से प्रॉपर एड्रेसेस नहीं थे. अभी भी वो कुरियर प्रॉपर एड्रेसेस से फोन नंबर तो मेरे पास फोन नंबर से फोन नंबर ईमेल आईडीज वो सब नहीं थे. सॉरी प्रॉपर एड्रेसेस से अच्छा सा कंटेंट बनाया. वी स्टार्टेड फोन नंबर ईमेल आईडीज वो सब नहीं थे. कुरियर्स टू डॉक्टर्स फॉक्सी से अच्छा सा कंटेंट बनाया. ब्लू डार्ट था आई थिंक. उनको बोला था कि couriers to doctors. If you get phone numbers of the doctors, you will get an additional remuneration for it. होता क्या था तभी आप साइन करते थे फोन नंबर भी लिखते थे. एडिशनल रेम्यूनरेशन अभी भी होता है वो कुरियर्स में. होता क्या था तभी आप साइन करते थे फोन नंबर भी गेट द एटलीस्ट करेक्ट नंबर्स. वी आल्सो राइट व्हेन दोस सिग्नेचर्स आर बीइंग साउंड बिकॉज़ the courier company was had remuneration attached signatures as being sound because so from that 25,000 couriers which we had we got some 13,000 phone numbers. फिर तो डेटा आ गया. फिर गेम ऑन. हमने फ़ोन कॉल्स करना शुरू किए. टेली कॉलिंग टीम सेट कर दिया एक अच्छा सा ऑल ऑफ दैट. नेवर टॉक्ड अबाउट अ ब्रांड. वी क्रिएटेड अगेन अ गुड मॉड्यूल ऑफ केस स्टडीज एंड बुकलेट्स एंड एवरीथिंग फ्रॉम विथ फॉक्सी. We started calling up doctors. We started taking their email IDs, and email ID was the email changed and began. Basically the whole engagement started getting orchestrated with this simple flow. We got an insight that a lot of doctors don't have, the patients have a lot of questions, but they don't have a single place to go and get some answers. So we created a website called as IndianWomen'sHealth.com. And it was at that time around 1 million hit website every month. It was everything from -9 to +12. Content was there on that website with calculators, tools and everything. A lot of blogs to read, and those were archaic days of internet from a data perspective. अभी भी KB में और MB में डेटा का चार्ज होता था उस टाइम पे. So we did that. The whole thing was that from this 12-13,000 numbers which we got, we were consistently engaging 50% of that doctor month on month only on digital. And only on digital, when I say that those whole emails and events and telecallings and all of that was happening. And we delivered a 95% growth for a brand in 18 months of time frame. Just by this. So if you talk about ROI, if you do it in this way, the ROIs are there. Cut to, you can always take subsets of objectives for your current brand and try and see how you can go digital if you want to look at it in silos. And if I say if you don't want to look at it in silos, what I said, just integrate, do the coordinated engagement, and you will see the benefits of it. Yeah.
Hi Rinkesh, this is Mohit Hegde. So first of all, thank you for this lucid and a very insightful presentation. So one thing which I would like to echo is that we experimented this omnichannel engagement across. So to the tune, we went to the personas and even patient portraits. And we could see engagement of doctors increasing with every initiative that we followed in an orchestrated way. Now, only concern or a question I would require your suggestion is that when a brand goes through this stage, we want our rep to orchestrate it. But now there are 2 or 3 brands in a team which are in focus. And that becomes very difficult for a rep to remember, how do I channelize my approach? So what is your suggestion? How can I channelize all this approach in this orchestrated way when there are multiple brands in a promotion in a single team?
Okay, so you're not asking a question possibly of an orchestrated engagement. I think that's an outcome of the answer which I will give. But the whole challenge is that which doctor, which brand, I think that's where the question is, correct?
Yeah, overall when the portfolio is similar, for example, cardiology. So there are 3 brands in cardiology. Indication is somewhere plus minus, doctor's set is fixed and your rep is fixed. So how do I orchestrate the entire journey brand-wise, which becomes very difficult maybe for a field force or even at a HO level to manage everything together?
Yeah, so, okay. So let me first pick up one division. Okay, and I'll try and simplify this for that. So let's say one division cardio, and there are let's say 20 brands in it. Okay, and then for a single rep to focus on 20 brands becomes very difficult. Correct? That's where we are going. If you multiply to a multi-speciality division, then for a cardio, diabetes, the same way the problem kind of gets accumulating. So again, it's a very simple solution for it. Okay, and a bit of thinking. So in each, if it's a multi-speciality division, in each therapy, define your P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, right? What happens is if your system, typically all the CRM systems calculates the time and all of that, and a rep also has a decision-making system. A rep for each doctor can always place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let the system capture that information for 3 calls and say that, okay, on an average basis, you have spent more time on P5. So this is your suggested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rather than rep doing it on his own. Okay, that way you simplify it for the rep. सिर्फ 3 महीने का भी डेटा पे आप ये एवरेज निकाल के ये काम कर सकते हो. If you let your system enable to do that, what will happen is you have captured that data, okay, through a whatever algorithm, if you want to fancily call it AI, through AI you have given him a suggestive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let a rep say that okay, I accept it, or maybe 2, 3 को 3, 2 करना है मुझे, whatever. It's simplifying the game over there. And same way, now if you look at just a simple thing, you can just extrapolate it to how many other possibilities you want to. So capture data for 3 months, throw back those recommendations and see if it is working. If the rep is never changing it, never changing even 2 and 3 also, you have an amazing amount of confidence in this system, boss. Every time my recommendation is getting accepted by the rep. And you will try and say that, okay, let's extrapolate it. So I think that's a way of possibly training the system and, letting him or her do that.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rinkesh, for sharing such an insightful session with all of us. And I think all the delegates out here have thoroughly enjoyed your session. I saw a lot of enthusiastic expressions on a lot of people, especially in the front rows. So thank you for that really insightful session. So before we move ahead, can I please request Mr. Porus Wakil, Head of India Business from Ajanta Pharmaceuticals, to please join us on stage and felicitate Mr. Rinkesh Shah with a bouquet and a memento from all of us here. Thank you, Mr. Shah. And thank you, Mr. Wakil, for presenting the bouquet and the memento from all of us here.